NatSol are specialists in producing toilets for sites that don't have main services. We're based in Llanidloes in mid Wales and were established in 2005. The NatSol team have backgrounds in ecological design, engineering and energy efficiency. The two directors have 30 years combined experience in designing and building dry compost toilets. This gives us the knowledge and ability to construct sturdy, easy-to-use toilets that are built to last. We've put them on allotments, in garden offices, on forestry sites and beside remote churches, in fact anywhere where an outside loo can be a real comfort. Consequently, our dry compost toilets are being used throughout the UK, from Kent to Cumbria and from Plymouth to Perth. They can be enclosed in timber or metal buildings as preferred, or you can build your own. Recently, director Andy Warren visited Paul and Susanna to talk about the NatSol toilet in their garden. We had installed it for them as they were living in a caravan while rebuilding their house. What were her thoughts?
Well, I think certainly living in the caravan, it was the only option. So we got into the habit of using the composting toilet then, and very, very quickly it was apparent that it was very easy to use, low maintenance. When we first got it, the idea was that we would change volts every year and switch the pedestal over one side to the other, but actually we don't produce enough volume, if that makes sense. Each year I go in and redistribute it, and it's turning into the most incredible, beautiful brown compost. So I'm looking forward to actually switching over and using that.
And do visitors get to use it sometimes?
Yes, they find it very interesting and are always amazed at how it just doesn't smell and how sort of unobtrusive it is. Because obviously with the design of it, we do use it to store other things as a normal shed, and that's been incredibly useful because it's well built and it's secure and it's a good space.
At the opposite end of the scale, we developed a new high-use system for toilets in the Isabella plantation in Richmond Park in London, which receives over 100,000 visitors each year. They were opened to the public in September 2014. Nowadays, with more people growing food on allotments, there's an increasing need for access to a working toilet. Whether they're out of town or in the middle of town, a NatSol compost toilet could be the answer. Clive Rogers of Shrewsbury explains why they opted for one.
There was no facilities available. The council were required to put something in for us, as we've got elderly, women, children around. And the cost of putting sewage and mains water in was quite prohibitive. And as it's environmentally friendly, it was an excellent solution on our behalf. There was initial wonderment as to how the thing worked, and there was a number of questions asked, but it's gone down very well.
Meanwhile, down in Herefordshire, our toilets are the perfect complement for a company that builds wooden shepherd huts. Here's Claire Adamson to tell us all about them.
Well, we make them here for other people, but we also have a couple of huts that we let out for people to come and stay, which is working out really well. And we decided that we would like our facilities to be in the shape of a shepherd's hut. So we got your NatSol compost toilet and made our own buildings around it.
So what do your guests think about having a compost loo?
They're very impressed. I think they have a certain idea that a compost loo won't be very pleasant, but in fact it's absolutely brilliant.
In the remote village of Abergynolwyn in the Cambrian Mountains, the addition of a compost toilet to St David's Church has indeed been a blessing. Andy Warren met Wendy Whitby, who's the church warden.
Wendy, it's great to come here and actually see this, because I'd forgotten that this is inside Snowdonia National Park. This extension has been beautifully built to take the toilet. But I'm also just wondering how the toilet's been over the 5 or 6 years you've had it, and how it's helped here and what people's experiences have been.
Well, everybody finds it marvellous, the fact that we've got a toilet.
Right.
Because obviously water problems and sewerage problems just were making it impossible. We just couldn't do it.
Right.
And then this solution came up, and it's made such a difference to our lives up here.
I'm just wondering, at the planning stage, whether some of the congregation were a bit apprehensive about having a composting toilet here.
Well, you always get people that are apprehensive, but having got it here, it is an absolute godsend. So the vicars use it, the congregation uses it, and the children love to use it. and it fits in so well with the church itself. We all think it looks lovely and we are very, very happy with it.
NatSol supply wheelchair accessible toilets to organisations from local authorities to water companies to individuals. They are robust and don't need chemicals, electricity or water, so they don't freeze in winter. They don't have fans or pumps that might fail, and what's more, they create great compost. Our website has more details, so do get in touch. You never know when you might need one.